Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tawana Rivers. This is the 10K Project, and we are here again with another amazing Black founder doing amazing things. I'm excited about tonight because we have a returning founder. You guys know how I feel about returning founders, right? So when a founder comes back, it is the ultimate compliment to the 10K Project because it means the first time around, they found value in what we bring to the table. And so thank you to the community for making them feel that way. I always say you are the secret sauce, right? You're the magic that makes 10K Project work. And so you showed up for this brother the first time around, so he wanted to come back again. This time he has a different project, one that's really exciting. I think you guys are going to like it. And so I'd like to introduce you to Anade Davis. For those of you who may have invested with him the first time around, he is a familiar face to you. For anyone who is seeing him for the first time, you are going to enjoy what he has created. I'm going to go ahead to the campaign page. It's always where we like to start, right? So that I can show you the high-level deal terms and just kind of help you navigate the page a little bit. This campaign is on WeFunder. And so for those of us who are familiar with WeFunder, this should look like something you've seen before. Let me close my participants list here. All right, so this project is called AI Smart Homes. Currently, they have raised a little over $25,000. The early bird terms are still open, right? So early bird means that there are favorable deal terms for anyone that invests early. This is a revenue share or loan, right? So 30% of revenue will be up at 2x, right? So 2 times the payback multiple. And so that's the advantage of getting in early. Once the early bird terms expire, then it'll be a 1.5 multiple, right? There are some investor perks here that you can look through. Also, I always say, I'm not gonna say anything different. All of the information on the campaign page is read worthy, right? Meaning you really should read the entire page, click every link, look at every tab. It is the way you're going to do the majority of your due diligence, right? As you consider if this business fits in your portfolio, you want to look at everything that Anade and his team has listed here. These are the things they know you need to know to determine if you want to invest in this business. All right. With that said, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Davis to tell us all about AI smart homes. And I'm going to stop sharing as well. Sir, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, first, thank y'all for coming out. I was here last time, and this is gonna be a good one. So every time I pitch, especially when it's a long form pitch like this, kind of like an hour or something like that, I always give value. This is what I've learned is a very good strategy of raising money from, especially people that look like me, is giving value. And one thing that I really enjoy about this particular investment is it's a income investment, right? So you for those of you that invest in stocks, it's certain things that you invest in that are equity, and there's certain things that you invest in income. Through my experience in tech, and she mentioned also before, so I had a company before called Crypto Share, right? And we all know what happened to crypto, right? But the good thing is we didn't quit, we didn't give up. All we did was we just converted the company into a holding company. So the name of the actual holding company is called Crypto Share Holdings, right? The company we had before was an application, basically utilizing crypto credit. Long story short, the banks basically shut us down. We was getting letters from the government. It was crazy. They basically shut down, especially black owned founders that was in the crypto space. That's why, as you see now, even the big companies, Coinbase, we heard about some of the scams. It was so much scamming going on. I guess the powers that be says, you know what? Let's just shut everybody down, and that's essentially what they did. But unlike other companies, we stayed alive. We kept going. We pivoted, and we realized, you know what? And we actually started investing in land, and that's actually what kept our business alive. Investing in land, investing in real estate, something I've been doing since I'm 38 now. Just turned 38 actually last week, but this is something I've been doing since I've been 22 years old. And yeah, I definitely encourage people to invest, especially if you know anything about real estate. And I'm open to people reaching out to me. So really, before we get started, I would like everyone to, and I'm gonna add this in the chat too. I would like everyone to, if you have an Instagram, just go to AI Smart Homes and just add me. Appreciate that, Chandra. Edward. Appreciate that, Edward. If you got an Instagram, please follow me, AI Smart Homes. Send me a message, whatever, just so we can keep the networking going and stuff like that. So before I jump too much into it, because you can kind of go on the WeFunder and kind of read everything you want to read and kind of learn more about what we're doing when it comes to AI Smart Homes. I mean, it's simple. This is why we have the multiples. It's 2 times the investment. If we haven't done an Airbnb, we stayed at Airbnb. So what we're doing is we're creating a luxury AI living experience. That's what AI Smart Homes is in a nutshell, right? And the way I came up with this concept was building tiny houses. That's something I have done, right? In my own tiny house. And I bought a couple little robots off Amazon, spent a couple $100, spent a little vacuum one on the floor, got some actual physical ones too, but the smaller ones that you can remote control. I bought a dog that kind of think for itself, you know what I mean? So I was like, man, this is cool. My kids love them. And I was like, you know what? What if we just made everything AI? And we started doing research and a lot of research, and we realized this already exists. It's just nobody has created a real experience to fully be immersed in AI. What do I mean? The most that we see when we see smart homes is what? Smart locks. I mean, everybody got that. We see smart locks, but we want to take it a step further. We want to have smart locks. We want to have an AI refrigerator, right? And these actually exist. You can go to Home Depot right now and pay like $2,000 for one, right? So we thought about, especially as Black Americans, I think that we have this thing when we do real estate that we always have to do something that's, like affordable housing. Like we kind of get put into that box. So I was thinking, how about we do luxury AI rentals, right? And this is why, in my opinion, obviously, because we don't want raising money, it's just a good investment. These houses, without the AI, are already making $300 to $400 a night, right? So we have 2 types of AI smart homes. We have one AI smart home, and matter of fact, I'll share my screen here really quick. All right. Just so we can get a better understanding of this. And then once I go through this, I value, and I actually want to show you all how I get land, how I buy land, how I flip land, because that's actually what's been able to sustain me as I raise money, is actually doing really. I'm here to give value as well. So, in a nutshell, yeah, let me kind of show this here. So yeah, so in a nutshell, we are the luxury AI living experience. We are launching 24 of these smart homes as rental properties. I have a manufacturer that can create these houses for us for $150,000. And as I mentioned, these houses are already getting $400 to $500 a night on Airbnb. So, and just in case you think, man, he's just saying that because he's trying to raise money, I'm going to actually show you some examples really quick. So we have one called the Digital Mirror AI Smart Home. As you see here, and we kind of go here. As you see here, we just go from the 19th to the 22nd. And it should be in US dollars. But basically in US dollars, this is in Colombian peso, because I travel to Colombia a lot. But in US dollars, this is about $300, $400 a night, right? And I'm going to actually add the link so y'all can kind of go y'all stuff and kind of look at it yourself, right? Now, what makes what we're doing is we have a technology. It's called digital mirrors. We have a technology that allows you to actually add video on the outside of the house and on the inside, right? So imagine when you're like, let's just say you're watching just a regular TV. Instead of being trapped to watch it on your small phone, on your computer, or your TV, The mirrors on the inside, you'll actually be able to see whatever you want to see. Now, this is coupled with the smart technology. This is coupled with the AI refrigerator. This is coupled with, they're called it's called touchful technology. Think Iron Man. When you touch the glass, you can actually use the glass as a computer screen. So we're doing 12 digital mirror AI smart homes. The price point of each smart home is about 150,000. And as I already told you, the price point, we're targeting anywhere from $300 to $1,000 a night. We're targeting professionals. We're targeting Instagram influencers. We're targeting athletes. We're targeting celebrities. We're targeting people that have the money. Because like I said, we sometimes think that we have to do everything really cheap, really affordable. But I'm like, well, I think we should do luxury AI, where you're not going to get these experiences anywhere else. This is why every time we have a booking, we're going to share 30% of our revenue with the investor. So this is not an investment to where you have to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to get your money back. As soon as we have our first digital mirror AI smart home built, we're immediately going to start sharing quarterly revenue dividends with all our investors. So when you read that on the WeFunder and it says a revenue share loan, that's basically what it means. Their wording is a little funky, but all it basically means is you're going to be receiving revenue percentage, and we're giving 30%. Now, I want you to understand something. This is only for the first $124,000 investors. That's it. Because after we do the crowdfund, we're going to do private equity, right? But we're just raising this initial one just so we can kind of get the momentum, so we can have the money to market, have more cool. We want to add some features where you'll be able to have the experience of living in the house digitally, just so you can kind of experience some of the stuff that we got going on. So that's what we're going to do for the first 12. And for the last 12, we're only doing 24. We're building 3D printed AI smart homes. And the company that we have working with us on that is they've literally built the largest 3D printed building in the world. And this is the digital mirror AI smart home. I've showed y'all the Airbnb link. You can check it out for yourself. We've already created a partnership with the company, so they're going to be manufacturing these homes. So what that means is once we come up with the money to buy these homes, we don't have to wait a year. We don't have to wait 9 months. It takes 9 months to build the app. We don't have to go through all of that. These houses are called modular homes. And modular homes are homes that are built in a factory, and when they're delivered, they're immediately ready to live in. So what this does is, and it's a 3-month lead time. What this does is as soon as we pay for them, we buy 12. That means they will deliver 12 of these homes the same day. So this is the future also, by the way, just the construction of it. You'll be able to have homes, they're called modular and prefabricated homes. This is what you hear Elon Musk talking about. This is that's the future of homes, because it cuts out waiting 9 months and 12 months and all that. So on top of the cutting edge technology in construction, we also are adding these futuristic features. And on the left here, you kind of see what I'm talking about. Here is this is called a smart mirror. Once again, you can buy this right now for your house. Just Google smart mirror for sale on Amazon. You can buy this right now. There is a window here, and that window is a touch full window where, when you're washing dishes and cooking, you're trying to look at your phone. You can literally do all that from your window now. You want to check the weather. Your window is essentially a computer screen. And the window, like the glass here, this is the inside of it, right? We're just showing the inside view of it. But on the outside, people won't be able to see because the mirror is reflective, right? They won't be able to see what's on the inside. And if you want to play something on the outside, you can play something on the outside. Now, we're going to have rules on what you can play on the outside because we don't want nobody playing nothing weird. You know what I mean? But overall, just think about that. So imagine we're building 12 of these in one community. Imagine you're in a community and all these communities basically have houses that are living and breathing. And inside of these houses, we have physical robots. And we have a digital robot that you can talk to in the house. Like when you wake up in the morning, hi, my name is Anade. So it's going to say, hi, Anade. The time is now this. These are a lot of these features, like I said, that already exist, but we're just putting these in the home. And I'm going to tell you something. The fact that I am Black American means a lot because this is the future anyway. We're going to be living with robots. We already live with smart technology and AI over our house, whether we know it or not. Siri is AI. All of this stuff already exists, but we just came up with the concept to put all of this in one home. And this is our digital mirror AI smart home. And this is our 3D printed duplex AI smart home, where we essentially have a lot of futuristic features in this house, in this duplex as well. But these are 2 units, right? Not just one. The tiny house is just one house, but the duplex is going to be 2 units. And we want to build a total of 12 of these and 12 of these. So like I said, we're talking money. I'm not here to give you some sexy pitch. We're talking about money, stuff that make money. And I thought about everything I've done in my life. And honestly, I've tried a lot of different things in my life. The only thing that's been constant in my life that has always made me money was real estate. And I realized, man, you're chasing all this other stuff, but stick with the thing. Like, I recently just sold 10 acres of land. And like I said, once I get through this, we kind of go into that. That's the only thing, and that's what's keeping me afloat now. My ability to figure out, my ability of knowing how to buy tax deeds, knowing how to flip land, knowing how to buy land for under $1,000 and flipping it to a lot more. And we're going to kind of get into that soon. And this is the numbers. Like I said, we're talking about money. These are the numbers. So I put estimated cost 180 because you never know, but we'll just say 180 for this, right? It costs us about 124,000 to build, but like I said, we want to make these cutting edge. We're adding solar panels on the top. Like, we're talking about cutting edge stuff. And like I said, this technology, like, it already exists. We're just putting it into one home. So we're looking at the estimated cost to build one is 180. 12 is going to cost us maybe about 1.5 million. And total, we're raising 10 million, by the way. The crowd fund, like I said, is just for the initial investors. After we get the 124,000, that's when we're going to get into the private equity, right? So it's going to cost us about 1.5 to build 12 of these. And like I said, when they're built at the same time. So it's a 3-month lead period. So after 3 months of paying for these, we'll have all of them delivered at the same time, 12 houses. So this is not a year process. It's a 3-month process. The hardest part about this is raising the money. That's why I'm here now. And we look at it as the estimated yearly income per tiny house, 12, is about 72,000. 72,000 times 12 is 864,000 total yearly income. This includes the vacancy rate, which means we're not giving you fake numbers. This includes, we're saying that out of 30 days, we only expecting 15 to 20, maybe to 22 days of people actually renting it, and the other 10 to 15 days, nobody renting it. That includes that, right? So we're being very conservative with these numbers. So this means even if we keep them, within 2 years, we would have already paid for the tiny houses. So you're going to get a 2-time multiple of whatever money that you invest. That's why we can give those numbers, because the numbers just make sense. Like I said, this is simple real estate. The numbers make sense. We can build 12 houses for 1.5 million and in 2 years. And let's just say it's even slower than that. It doesn't matter, because like I said, you're locked in at a 2-time multiple. So you're guaranteed, obviously, we keep the company open and stuff like that. But as long as we have them, you're guaranteed to make double your money because you're locked in, which means if you invest 2,000, you're going to get 4,000, and you're going to get this quarterly until you get your 2-time multiple. This is me at the actual factory. Like I said, this is stuff that we've already done the due diligence on. This is me at the actual factory in Houston where they built these houses, right? They already built these. All we're doing is we're just adding the smart technology to the houses. That's it. And I already have manufacturers for those things. So all we're doing is literally buying these houses that already exist, and we're adding the smart technology and AI technology to it that allows these windows you see to be interactive, to play videos on them, to play a beat setting, to play these different things. And on the inside, you can use the glass also to search the internet, right? Like, imagine your computer or your TV on the glass. And like I said, you see movies and stuff like this. This technology already exists. It's called touch foil technology. And like I said, I'm here to educate. So we're going to go a step further. I'm going to actually show y'all what foil technology looks like. So I'm sharing the tab here so y'all can see this already exists. This already exists. People, it's used a lot really internationally, but I just kind of just want to show y'all that this is not like no crazy idea that a mad scientist is coming up, because many of you know who met me before. By trade, I'm a data scientist, and I'm now a graduate student in the University of Central Florida in the civil engineering program. So I got the receipts. This is stuff that I do. This is stuff that I know. Very excited about it, and I just kind of want to show you, like, yeah, this stuff already exists, right? But we're just taking this technology, and instead of putting it in stores, we're putting it on houses, right? So let's go back to that. So now this is the 3D printed AI smart home. Like I said, we're building a total of 24. Now, really, it's going to be 36 units. And the reason it's going to be 36 units is because 12 of the 3D printed units are going to be duplexes. And it's going to cost us about $300,000 per duplex to build. And in the first year with these houses, because they're 2 units, with these houses, multifamily unit, those of y'all in multifamily investing, the numbers just make sense. Like I said, I'm just here. We here talking money. This is what we're here for. I'm not here to give you no futuristic. We're talking money. So within the first year, we project with the 35% vacancy rate also, which is very high, by the way, very high, with a 35% vacancy rate. Because we're not acting like we're some of these people who give you these projections. Oh, we're going to book it out every night. As many of y'all know, Airbnb, Booking.com, it doesn't work like that. But what's going to set us apart is relationships with a lot of Instagram influencers. That's kind of why we're raising the money also, because we'll be able to pay these people. Look, come stay at our AI smart home. Come stay here. You know what I mean? Give us a review. Come stay here. Come experience some of these cool features. And if you can see, one of the features we have here is a safe home. It's actually a safe home. And the safe homes are actually inexpensive, by the way. All a safe home is, like, because we want to build 12 of these in Florida. We want to build a 3D printed duplexes in Florida, and we want to build the other homes in Houston, in Texas, right? And these are basically when there's a big storm coming, like those of y'all in Texas, y'all know a storm is in Texas. Those of y'all in Florida, like me, businesses hit Florida all the time. So these are like escape pods where you can kind of go into. Like I said, it's the gift that keeps giving. It's the gift that keeps giving. So we look at these houses as actually paying for themselves. These duplexes paying for themselves in the first year of being made. Because like I said, it's 2 units and they're huge on the inside. And the total yearly income we look at with this is $4 million, $4.3 million. And this is me at the largest 3D printed building in the world. This is me. So we have the relationships to get this stuff done. We got the best 3D printing company in the world working with us, in the world. You know what I mean? This is the largest 3D printed building in the world. You can Google it. Like, this is me there. And obviously, this is the pitch deck, so I don't have all the pictures. But if you go to my LinkedIn, I'm actually taking pictures with the manufacturer. I'm taking pictures with the company. Like, we have these relationships to really get this done. All we need is to raise the money. That's why I said, once we get this crowdfunding done, that's when we're going to go to the private equity investors and say, look, man, we got momentum. We got people investing. As y'all can see, we already got 25,000. So I encourage everybody, if you got an extra 500 to 1,000, this is obviously I'm gonna say this, but this is a smart investment. That's why I say invest smart, because this is simple real estate development. This is stuff that we already know exists. We're working with the best companies in the world, literally doing this in Miami. We're working with the best company in Miami and Houston. We're working with the best companies that do this in the world, right? And yeah, this is just, I mentioned this already. We're raising $10 million to build 24 AI smart homes as rental properties, luxury AI rental properties. We got the robots here, and we have the manufacturers that can create robots for us for about $5,000 to $6,000. And, we have like the robot talk to the person, and we have the AR refrigerators, which exists. All of this exists already, right? And this is our fund strategy roadmap. We're actually looking to finance 2 acres right now, raising 124,000. And once we do that, then we're going to go to private investors and raise 3 million. And then we're going to develop the 12 homes. Like I said, they're already pre-built, which is just smart. They're already pre-built. So after 4 months, and let's just give them time. Let's say it takes them 5 months, but even let's say it takes them 6 months to build it. 6 months. We got 12 homes turnkey ready to be rented out immediately. That's already getting $300, $400 a night, which I sent you the example on Airbnb. That's already getting that a night without the robots, without the AI features, without these things. So when we add the AI features, that's going to just to run it up even more because people like the idea of mirror homes. It's a cool concept, but we added the digital mirror AI smart home where we're not just doing the mirrors, we're going to add cool little stuff where you're able to interact with the mirrors. And I've already showed you that technology. It's called Touch4 technology. And we want to raise $7 million after we built the first 12, which would be way easier than this first 124,000 because we've already built 12 mirror smart homes. We already got the land, and when we raise the 7 million, and remember, you're the initial investor, so you're going to get residuals off all of this after you get your 2-time multiple. Because even if you don't get your 2-time multiple until we raise 3 million, either way, we're going to already be in a process of doing this stuff. This is the future. Whether I do it, somebody else do it, we are going to be living with robots. Because like I said, all of this already exists, right? And we want to actually purchase the 3D printer because when you purchase the 3D printer, it allows us to rent it out for other income. So like I said, it looks like a futuristic investment, but this is really a money investment. If you want to make some money, this is what I've always made money in real estate. And I've already mentioned this already. I'm the founder and I'm the construction engineer of AI Smart Homes, not licensed engineer yet. That's why I decided to go to get a master's degree. I already have an undergrad, and I did go to graduate school in digital technology in New York. For those of y'all from New York, salute. That's how I know somebody said they from New York, salute. I lived 2 places. I really lived 3 places. I lived on Nostrand Avenue when I first moved to New York. I couldn't do it. Then I moved to Manhattan. I paid way more in rent. But that's where I went to graduate school at. And now I'm back in graduate school, getting my master's in civil engineering. And my concentration, what do you think? It's actually smart cities, where they're going to be teaching me how to basically create entire smart neighborhoods. They're basically going to teach me how to create entire smart cities. So, we want to start with the AI smart homes, but eventually, man, I want to do smart buildings. I want to do AI smart buildings. I want to do AI smart cities. I'm sure that's probably 5 to 10 years from now, the smart cities, but this is just where it's going. But it's going to start with these homes that we're doing now. This is my team. We have over 60 years of real estate experience, licensed engineer here. And, just being transparent, you kind of got to get people that's going to help you raise the money, people with the relationships, stuff like that. And that's just keeping it honest. So, and I'll just end it with that. But yeah, you can kind of see their credentials: 20 years, licensed engineer, licensed urban planner, licensed architect. So yeah, we developing luxury homes in New York. That's why I said we want to make this stuff luxury. We don't want to be shamed into charging $500 you know what I mean? Like this is for people who want to take a fun vacation. Man, let's go to the AI smart home. Let me take my girlfriend. Let me try to impress this new date that I got. Like that's what energy that we're on. And this is just some of the data associated with smart homes. I mean, the value of smart homes is already just this year is to surpass 400 million. That's just smart homes. Basically, these are homes that include smart technology in them, which could be smart lighting, smart locks. That's just this. So, we see this revenue jumping crazy, smart home revenues jumping crazy by 44 billion. This is not my data. This is the National Association of Realtors. This is not my data and Statista. This is them saying this. So I figure, why not be a Black American and get into this space and lock myself in this space and, just grow with this space. You know what I mean? Especially because, I want to make sure that I'm in a space now where I'm not going to be fighting with regulators and stuff like that. So that's kind of why we chose this as a project. And the big vision is we see the future of real estate evolving as a result of robot AI smart homes. Because I know the more we market this, the more we get in front of people like you all, the more we talk about this, the more our following grows. We're going to have people copy us. Even now, when I talk to certain people that's already in the space, the first thing they say is, man, let me see your pitch deck. So I went ahead and just filed a patent, we know how that go, because these companies got way more money than the average person. So they're able just to take your concept and change some stuff, even if you file a patent. So honestly, for us, it's speed. We got to get this money raised. If you got an extra 500 to even $5,000, and this is something that we see being able to make money within the next, honestly, the next 6 to 12 months. Because once we raise this money and we go to private equity route, first thing we're doing is buying 12 digital mirror AI smart homes, because they're already built, right? So I'm gonna pause there, and I know it's questions at the end, and yeah, okay. So people are asking questions.
Well, hold
So
on. Right. But let's get through your presentation, and then I'll read the questions, because we do
okay,
want to save the questions to the end. I've got some myself I'll start off with, but I do want to follow the process.
okay. Let me see. Block Power is doing another raise on Climatide. Oh, yeah. Send me that link. Let me check them out. So yeah. So I just wanted to get that out the way. You know what I mean? And like I said, you want to reach out to me, hit me up on Instagram. But I did want to give an opportunity to teach, because I don't know if you remember, last time I was here, I was showing people how to invest in stock like a data scientist, where we don't just invest because, I ain't gonna say that, but we just don't invest because our favorite influencer says it or our favorite YouTuber says it, which we know now a lot of them are got in legal trouble for that, because they didn't know what they was talking about, and a lot of people lost money. Even Shaq got sued over that. But I was showing people how to really use data science to invest in stock. So today, really quickly, I want to show y'all how to buy lands very cheaply, or at least get into the land space very cheaply without spending a bunch of money. So let's do that. Unless you wanted to say something, Ms. Rivers.
No, go ahead.
All right. So I want everybody to go to landwatch.com. I'm gonna throw the link in there. Landwatch.com. Landwatch.com. I'm gonna give everybody about 30 seconds to a minute to get there. So somebody in chat, I want this to be interactive. Give me a state, any state. Give me a state. New York, Florida. All right, let's do both. Let's start with New York. All right, so look, let's go to New York. I actually bought my 10 acres in New York. I sold them already, but all right. So let's put in New York. I want everybody to scroll on down. Scroll on down, and I want you to click owner financing. So this is what your screen should look like. New York owner financing. This means no credit check. This means no bank loan. This means no mortgage. This means none of that expensive stuff that you may not have, because that's something that I struggle with. I ruined my credit years ago. I'm just now getting it back up, right? So now I want everybody to go to sort, and I want you to go to price low, right? And you can kind of see for yourself. I'm gonna tell you what I'm not gonna tell y'all how to buy land. I'm just gonna tell y'all I'm not gonna tell y'all what type of land to look for. That's on you, but I'll just tell you what I look for. I look for lands that have streets next to them that are paved, right? So, and this is an example. Now, even though they're charging a little bit more than I like, matter of fact, we don't even like this, because they saying the ESA credit approved. We don't even like that. So let's go back. We don't even like that one. So yeah, you can't just look at one anyway. You got to keep going, right? So now, let's see what they say. All right, and I don't like these terms, but this is just some examples. This is some way better terms than this. So they want 8,000 down, right? I don't like that. So let's just keep looking until we find something. But this is the real grind of when it comes to buying land, right? All right, so let's see. I like this one. Let's see what this one says. I don't like these. I don't like these. Let's change this to Florida. We're gonna go back to New York. Let's change this to Florida. All right. All right. You see the prices. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why so many people invest in Florida. You see the prices. I'm not making you see them. You see them yourself. Like I'm not. You see them. But we're gonna go back to New York. We ain't gonna give them New York, but I'm just showing y'all this just so you can see this, right? So let's just click on this one. This is Port Charlotte, right? They only want $299 down. I can't make this up. They only want $300 down. So that means if you got an income tax check, that means if you got anything like that, you can get into the land. Now, this is how you make money off this, right? Now, they have two type of land deals. Like, and I like lands that's near roads. And you can do your own due diligence. I like land that has space like this because I don't have to spend the money to cut all these trees down, right? So this is how you make money off this. This is stuff I've actually done. So you put the down payment on the land. Now, it's two type of land contracts. Is one, and I'm gonna put them in the chat. You have a land contract, and they're called different things in different states. But I'm just gonna say, then you have something called a deed of trust. I like that. No, it's not like a lot sale or a lien. It's and I'll get into that too in a second. It's you buying land directly from the company, and they do owner financing because it doesn't benefit them to go through a bank because I can charge you. Now it's gonna be higher interest. It's gonna be higher interest. They don't go by the national government interest rate. It might be 8% interest, 9% interest, but you gotta understand you're coming in at $300 now, no credit check. Like you coming in crazy low, right? But my point of even showing all this is the knowledge that I have. Like I know how to get in and get land. I know how to get this project done. That's why I'm here now. I know how to get this deal done because I've already decided, regardless of what happens, I'm going to make sure I get the initial 1 acre to 2 acres myself. Because once I got that, because I already have been talking to people in Houston, in Dallas, people that's already real estate developers there that are interested in either me using their land for this or helping us at least get the land. So we already got really, really, really good traction on this. So anyway, if you get a deed of trust, the deed of trust puts your name on the title, but the company you're financing from just has a lien on it. So how you make money is, let's say and they only want $299 down. I put the $299 down. I make payments for look, it already tells you no credit checks, no deed restrictions. And I like properties with no deed restrictions. You know why I like properties with no deed restrictions? Because you can put tiny homes on them. You can put portable buildings on them. And if y'all don't know what portable buildings are basically tiny houses, but legally you can't call them tiny houses because they don't have bathrooms and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, you can do a lot with portable buildings. They're way cheaper. And I'm going to show y'all. These are basically what portable buildings look like. Now, you got to check with your county, though. You still got to check with your county because some counties have rules. But this is essentially what they are. And you can finance these. You can finance, depending on the company, you can finance these also. And some companies, is actually one in Port Charlotte, actually, because I've actually been to Port Charlotte to do this myself. They actually have where you can get these and they'll deliver them to you. Same deal, $300 down. You put down a little bit of money, and man, you can walk. You basically have land that you're financing. Matter of fact, this one right here. I'll just show it to you right here, really quick. I only got 2 minutes of it. I'm just again, $4 grand, $5 grand, and you can finance this stuff. 160 square feet, you got to do your own due diligence of what square feet you want and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, this is the game. This is how a lot of people are making money out here, for real. This is what these YouTubers really not telling you because they want you to buy their course. Even though I am selling you something too, I'm selling you opportunity though. That's the difference. I'm not selling you a course. I'm selling you opportunity. But anyway, what people are doing is they're getting into these properties. They're getting their name on the title. And if I'm paying $299 and the cash price for this is $18,000, I will go ahead and post this same house, the same land, on the MLS for $25,000. And I'll say owner financing also, right? So you can literally double owner finance where you can literally have them pay you $500 a month, take that money. This is what this is the real game I'm giving you. This is 16, I'm 38 now. This is 16 years experience in real estate for real. This is like me doing this stuff for real. I've bought and sold mortgage notes. And for those of you, let me try to find this site real quick. So we went over that. So there's a website called PaperStack, right? So PaperStack is another way to make money with land. And a mortgage note is essentially you buying income, right? That's essentially you buying income. This is PaperStack. Let me put these in the chat here. So we got paperstack.com, paperstack.com, and then I sent y'all the other one, LandWatch. So basically, PaperStack allows you to buy income, right? So let me just click on this just to explain this to you, just in case this is not your space, right? So, for example, this means that you'll be getting $1,500 a month. Even though this is one of the this costs a little bit more, but I'm just explaining the process to you, right? So the unpaid balance is 89,000, right? They're selling this to you. This look too good to be true, but hey, it's real. You never know why people want to. Oh, okay, they doing. Okay, I see why they're doing it. It explains here. So they're selling 10% of it, 10% of the mortgage note, right? For that. So basically, the way a mortgage note works is, let's say somebody owes $60,000 on the property. They will sell you the mortgage note for $40,000, right? So you're guaranteed to make the $60,000 that's left on the mortgage note, right? And anybody that got questions on that, you can ask me later. But this is why I was telling y'all they're called different things. Contract for deed.
So Anade, I'm gonna pause you just a moment. You want to be careful saying words like guarantee, right? So I have mortgage notes, and so the word guarantee is a little misleading. So you're not necessarily guaranteed. So I just want to while we're giving them kind of this overview of these different ways to build wealth, I think it's great to give them the resources, but to try to squeeze a mortgage note kind of education session into a few minutes may be a little misleading to those that don't necessarily understand the space.
All right. Well, I put a pin in that. So what I meant when I say guaranteed is when you sign a contract to buy the mortgage note, the mortgage note has they're saying they're guaranteeing it. Like, but somebody can not pay and then you stuck with property, then you gotta sell it. But I'm just saying on paper, it's just like somebody mentioned tax lien. It's the same thing with tax lien. On paper, you're supposed to be guaranteed this. But I'm just giving y'all an overview game of just different ways to get land, different ways to make money, and different ways that people are making money. So I'm gonna show this one more time, and then I'm gonna end this here with the land, because I know people won't be watching it. So I'm just here to give game to keep giving. So with the land, let's say you put down payment on this $300 down payment, and the land is they're selling it to you on paper for $18,000. Then you can go back and sell it to somebody else on the MLS for $25,000. So you basically take profit. That's when you hear take profit. That's what that means. You can literally resell the property that you're only making small payments on. You're only making $249 per month on it, and you can turn around and sell the same property for $25,000. Now, obviously, you got to know the know-how. You got to know how to move. You got to know these things. So that's all I wanted to share, and that's pretty much it.
All right. Let's jump into some questions. I'll start. We've got some questions in the Q&A. For those of you who have additional questions, go ahead and put them in. So thank you for adding an educational component. You know, this is an education community, so we love that. Looks like the chat lit up when you shared that information. So thank you for that. I want to go back to the actual offer on the table, right? Because I want people to be clear about why we're here this evening, and what the investment exactly is, because you've talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff, but still a lot of stuff. And so this Reg CF offering on WeFunder right now, you're raising $124,000, right? Later, you're going to raise additional funds. You're probably going to do that off platform. Sounds like you're going to work with some private equity firms to get that additional $3 million and then the additional $7 million to bring you to 10. What we're talking about tonight is the $124,000 that you're raising on WeFunder. This investment it's really a real estate play, right? It's when I think about the AI smart homes, it's really a real estate play. You're going to buy these homes, you're going to then retrofit them, right, to be luxury smart homes. Can you
Correct.
talk a little bit about some of the specific things you're going to put in there? Because you talked about the touch foil technology, so that's great. What other types of technology? Because in your video, I see the robot rolling around. So let's talk about some of the other things where you're going to enhance the design or the core to make it luxury and smart.
So if everybody can go to the WeFunder, I did a really good job of kind of putting on there what to expect. Smart, even the house I got now, smart trash can. Trust me, things you think you didn't need makes your life so much easier. Smart trash cans, like I mentioned, AR refrigerator. When you're at a grocery store, you can talk to your refrigerator. You have really a personal assistant within your home, like the voice of a robot, which we all kind of use doing different things. You know, people use them now for phone conversation. And I'm, like I mentioned, I'm an actual data scientist. So I've been working with robotics since 2018 with IBM and all that good stuff. So yeah, just basic, simple stuff that you didn't know you needed. But like I said, when you see that it's there, even for example, smart toilet, which exists already at the airport. You don't realize it, but that's a smart toilet. The smart faucet, when you want to wash your hands, you know, sometimes you got all this stuff on your hands or you got to touch the trash can. None of that. Everything is smart. Everything is smart. You know what I mean? So that's basically like, so imagine just a situation where you go into an Airbnb, which is where we're going to put it on these different platforms. And we just plan on blowing your mind. And then when you come in, you got an actual physical robot greeting you. Never seen that in an Airbnb before. So
Okay, very good. The Airbnb link that you put into the chat earlier, is that an Airbnb that you designed or that just this one
no, that
mirrors?
yeah, so that's the one with mirrors. And the reason I'm showing, yeah, and you right, it is parts to it because my whole thing is whenever I talk about this, I want people to understand that this is not like because you know, I mentioned on Instagram, people think this is like no, like something you can do in 30 years. No, this we can do this now.
And this is not the Jetsons. This is today.
Yeah, this ain't that, and that's why I break it down in a real way. Like, look, this exists. We're just putting it all together in one immersive experience.
So one of the things you mentioned that I want to go back to is you said we filed a patent, but if all of the components that you're using are things that already exist, what's the basis of the patent?
So yeah, so and that's why we did it because nobody's put it together before. I'll give you a perfect example. It's like Uber. People already own cars. Airbnb, people already own places. What was invented was the platform to facilitate this stuff. That's what was invented. And that's what we're inventing. We're inventing the luxury AI experience. It's just like the person that invented virtual reality glasses, right? Like they're really selling you an experience because, or even a video game, like you really can't do anything with them like in the real world. It's the experience. It's the experience that you're buying. And like I said, really, when I pitch to investors, I'm pitching to investors so y'all can understand this is really a real estate money play. This is something to make money. Even though it's cool, it sounds cool and all of that, that's where the marketing comes in. But this is really for people that understand money, how real estate works. And that's why I kind of did the teaching session too, because I want people to understand more so than anything. I really understand real estate. Now, I'm not some of these gurus that made millions and billions of dollars. You know, the YouTubers I watched the video the other day got on 400 properties. I'm not one of those, but I have owned acres of land. I flipped land, and I built tiny houses before. So yeah.
Okay. And I want us to be clear, right? Just in case the SEC decides to watch this video. This is not a guarantee of any kind of success, right? Investing is risky, and you never invest anything that you can't afford to lose. So I want to just be careful. Real estate has been a reliable source of investing in the past. It has had its ups and downs. It will have more ups and downs. So I want to just make that clear that's your last statement was not a guarantee of anything to the potential investors. because this will be the one the SEC says, let's look at this, watch that video with her in the pretty pink dress. And we don't want you to get in trouble there. I also want to give clarity that the Land Watch website, wonderful. Actually, I smiled because I actually posted that link in the 10K Project Facebook group this weekend. Okay. So it's a site that I use as well. The Paperstack site, thank you for that. I was familiar with that one as well, but now the community has that, so that's wonderful. I want to make sure though that, because I think I see a question here in the looks like Ms. Beulah asked the question, is tax liens and mortgage notes involved here? And it's not. You were just showing us some other ways that this that land and property can be acquired, right? And really showing us that you understand the space. So you'll be making really wise decisions when you start to purchase the real estate for the home that you're going to be improving. So it's not that this investment is related to mortgage notes or tax liens. I just want to be clear. Is that a correct statement?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Very good. Because you kind of mixed a Monday night with a Tuesday night. So I want to make sure they're clear that was just some extra education that you were throwing. Ms. Jackie says, I like the idea as an investor. When are you going to do an equity raise?
Well, I mean, so when you say equity raise, what do you mean specifically by that?
So this deal is a revenue share. Yeah, this deal is a revenue share, right?
Yeah, this is a revenue share. Yeah,
as crypto shareholdings blows up, people would like ownership in the company, in the holding company.
And that's the benefit of the people that invested initially, though. When I was here before, those people still are investors in the company. Because so real quick, when we did the first raise, it was for one app, and we ended up getting into this legal accelerator. They basically helped us fend off the regulators trying to basically shut us down. You remember last night, even we finna try to take us off because we was dealing in crypto. So long story short, we converted that company into a holding company. So everybody that invested in that initial app, if some of those investors are here, we ain't going nowhere. We still here. You have equity in this company, but this investment is a investment for you to make money. Now, if you want to be an equity investor, you can talk to me offline, but most likely, honestly, you'll probably have to be an accredited investor for us to do that, or just have to wait until we get on the stock market. But like I said, if you got an extra $1,000, $2,000 and you don't need it, I mean, not need it, but you can risk it because every investment is risky. Things happen. Definitely something to consider.
Okay. Sharnetta says, how well do the homes hold up in disastrous weather? That's a very good question.
Yeah,
especially
so
we were looking at Florida, and it's getting ready to be that time of season when that time of year when Florida gets hit pretty hard. How do these homes hold up?
So like I said, we're building 24. So the first 12 are our digital mirror AI smart homes, just because they can start cash flowing immediately. Then we're going to build 12 3D printed homes. So I have actual pictures at the warehouse, which I didn't show because obviously we run low on time. But they're made of steel. They're not made of wood. The digital mirror AI smart homes are made of steel, right? And they have a wind load up to standards. So the wind load, I think, is like 160 to 180 wind load, which people that's in construction, real estate, y'all know that's strong, right? It holds up to winds. And also the 3D printer homes, for those you don't know, 3D printed material is earthquake proof. Not, well, resistant. It's earthquake resistant, hurricane resistant, not proof resistant. That's the point of it. And as y'all seen the pictures, I'm there. It ain't, everybody doing Photoshop. I got other pictures, you know what I mean? But I'm with the best people in the world that do this. So that's my team. Like, that's my main factor. I'm dealing with the best people in the world when it comes to 3D printing. And the tiny home company, the modular home company, I mean, man, they're an international company. As y'all see, is people already using them, making really good money. I sent the link in Airbnb so you can kind of do your own due diligence of how much the people are making right now without, I call it interior design engineering, without the AI engineering or interior design engineering.
Yeah, I'll just say that I absolutely love turning the average home into a smart home. I love that. I recently stayed in an Airbnb. It was actually an ADU in California. So an ADU is just kind of the build behind the house, right? And I'm envisioning some of your enhancements in that space, and that would be so dope. They could probably raise that price probably by another $200 a night, like easily, because it was already a brand new build. It was already very nice, but I could see how just some small tweaks, like the smart refrigerator, the smart trash can, the mirror that does I really do envision how that can earn additional revenue. People will like that. Even with the mirror, that's pretty cool too, right? There was a part of me that my first thought was, if you lived in a mirrored house like that or stayed in a mirror house like that, and you could project anything, those neighborhoods that do like the Christmas lights and the Halloween stuff, like they would go crazy with something like that. It's really like a blank canvas, right? So thinking about these other use cases other than just a cool place to stay, my wheels got turning a little bit. I like the idea of that. And so I think you're on to something with enhancing these properties in that way. Let's see, we've got a couple more questions. Adira says, where can you buy the smart mirror?
All right, so well, you can just go on Amazon. Just go on Amazon and look up smart mirror. They got different ones. You can get them as low as 100, 150, but yeah, looking for a smart mirror, you want to get a quality one. You want to look at the reviews, at least 4 stars and up. But smart mirrors already exist, so you can literally buy that off Amazon right now, tonight, actually.
Very good. Edward says, you mentioned that your goal was 36 smart homes. I think you said 24. Once you hit that goal, what's the next step? What's expansion look like?
So yeah, I probably should put my pitch deck on the WeFunded page, but basically after we raise the 124,000, because the first 124, that's just really just being able to pay myself, honestly, because I'm putting all my money up with this, man. I'm doing it. I'm gonna get the land, like I said, first, just with my own personal credit, as I showed y'all ways to get land. I'm gonna do that myself until we raise that money. And then once I'm able to do that, kind of pay myself back for the land, pay the land off. That's why I have finance and a pitch deck. Then we're going to use that for marketing so we can really target accredited investors like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, like more opportunities like this, so I can really get in front of people and have a more broad audience. But at first, I'm kind of soliciting to my community that kind of helped me raise money the first time. I'm reaching out to them. And yeah, because like I said, you can ignore it, not ignore it, love AI, hate AI. But look, man, I was telling people on Instagram this. You rather us be behind this than them. And I'm gonna leave it there. Because we know what they do. So
AI is not going away, right? It's not going away, and finding ways to incorporate it in everyday use cases is a smart plan, in my opinion. It's not going anywhere. Ms. Patrice says, what companies are building your tiny homes and your 3D homes?
Man, you trying to copy off? You trying to steal what we trying to do? But I'll say that if you really want that, please reach out to me offline, and we can talk about that. We can talk about that because that next thing you know, everybody trying to do it. So
I agree.
But that was one of the reasons I patented, because, like I said, these things already exist. We just packaging it together.
I appreciate that. She had a second part to her question. Have you considered bird strikes with the mirror homes and where you place them?
Yes. So the manufacturer told us what they do is they have like this. We can't see it, but they have like a purple like strip over it that we can't see that repels birds and stuff like that. Like I said, this company's been around.
The birds can see it, but we can't. Okay.
Yeah, we can't. Like I said, this company's already around. They're one of the best in the world. Like I said, you want to talk business, we can talk offline. Because I'm in this to raise money and make money myself. Just being out. I had to do real work to find these people. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So just to be clear on your answer, your vendor partners are part of how the magic happens, and you can't give your supplier list because
that's the plug. I mean, if you reach out to me on the side and you invest, and then we can go ahead. But and obviously you do your own due diligence. I'm sure you can do it. But like I said, for me to even get in contact with the 3D printer builder people, you gotta understand, like, this is an old man Like I had to reach out to this guy a million times, and I finally got in contact with him. He was like, "Man, come visit me." He seen I was serious, showed him the blueprints, gave him the pitch deck. He seen I was serious, and hey, and this is a famous. He's not famous to us, but in the business world, this man been on. He's a famous guy. So I was able to. He blessed me with his presence. I bought a one of the things I find the air didn't even work, so I was pissed off about that. But I was able to take some really good pictures of everything. He gave me the game, told me a lot about like because he had to create several 3D printed houses before that. Before he was able to do that, that's why I said we're dealing with one of the best. Because I ain't gonna say the best, we're dealing with one of the best 3D printer builders in the world, and they have the receipts. So.
Good. Chandra said, is there some kind of generator or UPS built in case of power outages?
Well, yeah, so the both of the homes, I don't know if you were able to see and I know we already done ran out of time. Me trying to teach you
you
course.
good. We good.
But I just want to show this really quick. So if you notice, if my page loads up, if you notice, and these are just the 3D renders, but the 3D render of the Digital Mirror AI smart home is very, very, very accurate because it already exists. But if you can see on this render here, they have solar panels on them. The 3D render for our 3D printed home have solar panels on them. I don't have it here. I have them on a different pitch deck. But the because I have two separate ones because I'm doing a Digital Mirror first, but the Digital Mirror has solar panel as well. And the reason that we even went that route because people that are really in the real estate like you are, one of the biggest issues that people run into with tiny houses is zoning. And because a lot of places do not allow tiny houses. People are doing them, especially in Miami, but they're illegal. Each county has a minimum house size that you can build. That's why earlier I showed y'all the importance of if you want to get into tiny home buildings, you got to find a place with no deed restrictions or no land restrictions, which means make sure you talk to your county. But we wanted to make sure, we was thinking that just in case it's very difficult for us to get electric poles up, we was like, we just need to go solar. And so we're actually thinking about we're going to do a community for the Digital Mirror AI smart homes. The 3D printed homes might be infill lots. What an infill lot is, these are empty land lots that already exist in the neighborhood. With the virtual mirror, the Digital Mirror AI smart homes, we want this to be its own community because that way we don't get neighbors complaining about the interactive mirror on the outside. Everybody's gonna have that. But just imagine how we working on a render now, the digital AI render now. How beautiful that's gonna look. Like you said on Christmas, you riding through and it's just like all of these different houses just got these beautiful images on them. You riding through, you like, what year is this? 2025. That's all. We're here. Like we're like, and I'm not telling nobody to invest in anything, but I'm just saying in general, like she said, look. I'm a data scientist. One of our things that we did in data science when we first became data scientists was something called machine learning. That's literally building robots. Now they got sexy names, AI engineer. We invented AI, data scientists, right? Or rocket scientists before us. Like they made a movie about it. We really invented robots before this. They just got beautiful names from them. But my point is, like, look, they everywhere around you. Everything is AI, whether you don't realize it or not. So just really think about that.
Very good. So the homes will have solar panels on them. Because that was a very good question Chandra asked, right? Because we're talking about making everything a computer, essentially, right? If the power goes out, none of that's going to work. So solar panels would be the solution for the 3D homes. May not be a bad idea to have backup generators or some kind of, consider that, right? Consider how you power all of this. And also along the lines of Chandra's question, what's the efficiency of all of that, right? I'm thinking of a light bill being super high because everything is electronic. Is that something that you've given consideration to as well?
Man, I'm glad you said that. So the way that's where solar panels come in. So that's another way to make money too for those that invest in land. If you finance some land, it's gonna have to be at least 10 acres because I did this before. I didn't do it, but it was companies reaching out to me about it. 10 acres or more companies reach out to you to put solar farms on your land. That's another good way to, and they sign like 30-40 year contracts. Like you get money for like 30-40 years. That's how they do it. And that is basically the premise behind building a community, because a community allows us to have a space for solar panels. So we can just have solar, we can have them on each house. And it's like solar sharing. This already exists also in New York, where they have a lot of these communities that share solar. So it's 5 units, nobody may be in those 5 units. That solar power can be shared with the other units that people are renting out a lot more. So everything is going to be kind of like shared within the community.
Very good. I noticed Kenneth asked a question in the chat. Do you currently have contracts with the company that prints the homes? And you
Well,
said,
yeah, I answered that. I said no, they are the builder. Because when this is something too for anybody interested in smart tiny home building. I've built tiny house before. Let me tell you something. People gonna tell you they know how to do it, but man, you gotta, and we know this already, but I'm just saying it's true. You have to make sure people know what they're doing. So when it comes to 3D printing, man, a lot of these 3D printing companies are just companies that's selling you 3D printers. But you want to be with a builder, because the company's not going to come to your land and build it. You got to be with a builder that has real experience developing tiny homes, really experience developing 3D printed homes.
so is the builder essentially, or is the 3D printed home essentially a kit that you get, and then the builder
No.
comes and
So
puts
we're okay. Okay, I understand. So we're buying a 3D printer from a company. It's a
okay.
company with a company, and okay. So I actually put a down payment on this in 2023. The company we're using for that is called API Cores. They've already raised millions on Start Engine. You can look them up. That's the company I've actually put a down payment on the 3D printer, which is another reason why we just want to go ahead and buy it, right? Because we own it, we can rent it out, we can make money off of it. So after we buy it, then we need to we need to hire a company that knows what they're doing to actually build exactly what it is we want. Because you got to remember, this is a real estate project. So, with anything, there's going to be polishes and things in real time, especially real estate development, that you might have to change. And by the time we
follow, I mean, people are going to live here, people are going to stay there. So you've got to
yeah,
follow codes and regulations.
yeah.
Right.
So you got to make sure that everything is, like you said, up to code. People know what they're doing, because just because you build houses for 20 years, that don't mean you know how to work. Because you gotta, man, when you do a 3D printer, you're literally controlling a robot. Literally, you got to know people that specifically trained and licensed. Well, they don't really have licenses yet. They're coming though, certified to do this. That's why I chose Florida, because Florida is one of the states that are open to 3D printed buildings.
Got you. Anonymous says, so this is where I think also, I don't want people to be confused. So you showed us the picture on landwatch.com of the sheds. So Anonymous is saying, so I see some of these say storage sheds. So are the tiny homes, are you building tiny homes, or are you going to do something out of these constructed storage sheds? I think you were showing us that to just show us what's out there, not associated with your project. Is that a correct statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like I said last time because last time I was here, I was able to raise a good amount of money. I was here, and one of the main things people was emailing me after was the education piece. So I just wanted to add an education piece on this one too, because at the end of the day, we want to invest, but we want to make money too. So I always like to give value, and every time I've done it, it's always paid me. It has always paid me for it. But it's all good. If you got any confusion, like I said, the We Funder explains it all. These are tiny homes. We're building 12 tiny homes, essentially, in 12 3D printed homes. Duplexes, 12 duplexes and 12 tiny homes, a total of 36 units, which is 36 streams of income.
Very, very good. Edward says, telling me that we should connect you with Larry Mickens, Over the Top Ladder, as a founder that has redefined what the ladder should be, and doing amazing work. I can definitely, Edward, if you think that's a beneficial connection, I can absolutely make that connection. Anade, I did already connect you with Park Street Homes. Because when we talked, I felt like that would be a wonderful connection. They're building homes in the, I believe they're in Dallas. They're building homes in Dallas, and it would be pretty cool to turn one or two of their homes into a smart home. So hopefully you guys were able to connect.
Yeah.
Right. Any more questions?
And I'm gonna throw my LinkedIn in here too, just in case anybody want to connect on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any way you want people to connect with you, absolutely put that in there. And if you want to say it also, just so anybody watching the replay that may not see the chat, and also with your Instagram, if you want to just give your IG handle.
So my Instagram is AI Smart Homes. If you, hopefully it shows up, because Google's still trying to play with the algorithm. But if you go on Instagram, you should be able to see AI Smart Homes. You're gonna see basically me, or you're gonna see one of my promotions or one of my flyers. And my LinkedIn is Anade Scientist. LinkedIn Anade Scientist. So just go and put Anade Davis or Anade Scientist. You should see me pretty much essentially dressed like this. And yeah, definitely reach out if you're not in a position to invest. Let's I'm building communities. Literally, I'm building communities digitally, and I'm building physical AI smart home communities. So
I know it may not be as profitable, but would you be open to consulting with someone that wants to turn either property that they already have, like an Airbnb or their own home, into a smart home?
yeah, but you know what I get from that? It's like when I do talk to people about that, in their mind is, well, if we can buy everything, we don't need you. And that's cool. Cause like I said, what I'm raising money for is to create AI smart homes. I'm not raising money to be that. But if somebody's open to that and they serious about it and they don't mind paying me for my service, because I'm going to be bringing things to them that they ain't even thought of. But it's like once you tell them, it's like, well, I can do it. But bro, I just gave you the sauce. You know what I'm saying? So
You don't give the sauce without the consultation fee. Let's start there.
there you go. See,
You know?
and I'm learning. You know what I mean? I'm learning. That's why I said I'm not selling the product or even the service. I'm selling the experience. And we all know if you know how to do it right, especially like that's really what sports is, though. It's really not selling you a product. It's really just selling you an experience. And then they make money off the merchandising and all that. But yeah, we're really selling the experience. I'm really excited about it. Soon we're gonna have our virtual reality renders ready, where potential investors can kind of just throw on the VR glasses, or kind of just navigate as if they're already in it.
That's pretty cool. All right. Last questions. Any final questions? Any final questions? All right. So now it is time for the closing statements. I'll go and then I'll let our founder in the evening and close us out. Again, this is a Reg CF round. It's a revenue share. I love how you've taken this technology that everyone's talking about and you're applying it to everyday life and everyday living. And you found a use case for it, right? That people can understand. And I always appreciate when things are made simple. And so being able to turn my patio door into the computer is something that I think is pretty cool, right? Retrofitting a space that's going to add something different to it, that's almost going to make it novelty. When I think about the Airbnb, use case, if I'm looking for a unique place to stay with the kids or anything like that, then you're going to make your space is going to be more attractive to me, right? Because I'm looking for the experience. And so I think you've tackled that in a good way. For those of you that are, interested in learning more, Anade has given us his contact information. You have the WeFunder link. We've been putting that in the chat throughout the evening. Please go to that campaign page. Please do your due diligence. I always tell you that I'm never going to tell you anything different. Do your due diligence if you are interested in investing. The one thing though that I am going to ask is that you pass the word around, right? Anade is out there getting the word out and needs our support in order to do so. So please tell your family and your friends that there's this data scientist out there that has decided to really tackle his passion for real estate, and he's retrofitting and building right, luxury spaces that are going to be smart homes. You know, tell your family and friends about that, because I think this would be something they'd be excited to read about at the very least, right? To know that this is happening. To Anade, thank you for adding that educational component piece. And I hope it was okay that I wanted to simplify as much as possible, because I didn't want people to get confused. But
And I
anytime,
did see the confusion, and I did see
yeah,
well,
any,
you know your space better than me, and I
I
appreciate
do.
that.
I do.
Mhm.
Anytime someone comes here though and gives of their time in that educational way, I got nothing but love for that, right? Because we're here to build wealth and to learn about how people are doing it. And so, you know, thank you for giving us some resources that allow us to go in now and do some due diligence even on those things, right? And so thank you for that. That is priceless, to be able to walk away and say, this was a cool investment opportunity. And he gave me like 3 resources that's getting ready to change the game, right? So thank you for that. Um, Guys, you know your next steps, right? Consider investing if you want to add this in your portfolio. Again, do your due diligence. But please tell people about it, right? When you get the replay link, go ahead and post it on your social platform, right? You know, forward the email to a couple of friends when you get the replay email. You know, just do whatever we can to help this founder get the word out. This is how his dream is going to kind of come to fruition, is with our help and our kindness to share this with others. Anade, what do you want to say to close us out?
All right, I'm gonna make it quick. So all I would say is this: I want y'all to understand something. When you invest on WeFunder, especially our platform, is I would really appreciate everybody that's still on here. If you can, like I said, if you got money that you're open to risk, is nothing guaranteed. But also the great thing about it is you don't have to pay today. You only pay when I do the capital call. And if you don't got it, you don't got it. Like right now, you can go on WeFund and say, look, I want to invest $2,000 in this guy. Guess what? You don't even have to put the money up today. But it makes my campaign look good, because once we reach 60,000, WeFunder starts promoting, because they haven't helped me at all. And I'm seeing people that raise less than that being promoted. But whatever, whatever. We get out into that before. But I'm just saying, once we reach 60,000, now I got a machine behind me. And once the machine behind me, we should be able to raise the rest of that money, honestly, in like 30, 45 days. It's just getting to that 60. Trust me, if I had a free 60, I would just do it. You know what I mean? But thank y'all for taking the time, especially those of y'all that are still here. Remember, if you don't got the money today, you can still put in your investment. And capital call will probably be maybe 2 months from now. So you can just chill. And if 2 months from now come and you got more money, you can invest more. If you don't got it, appreciate the opportunity. Now that I ain't got it, you ain't got to tell me this when it's time for you to invest the money. You just don't do it. But thank y'all for your time, and invest smart with AI Smart Homes.
All right. Thank you very much, brother. It was wonderful to see you again and to have you here again. To the community, thank you guys for showing up this evening. Thank you for being a part of the 10K project. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And we'll get the replay out. You'll also see it streaming here soon on in our Facebook page, and we'll get those highlight reels out this week as well. But good luck to you, sir. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching.
All right.
I
Thank
like
you.
this, and I'm gonna be paying attention to it. Right. Have a
Appreciate
good
it, Chandra.
night.
Appreciate it, Opal. All right.
Good night.